Africa is a continent rich with opportunity. And when business and communities come together, its astonishing potential begins to be felt. With the Millennium Development Goals steering these partnerships, Africa's future is being rewritten with innovation, foresight, and inclusivity. Crossing the length and breadth of the continent, our journalists uncover these stories and share them with the world. Join us now for remarkable stories of partnerships across Africa, building the future and changing lives. It's Africa's time.
This is the City Breakfast Show, the city's biggest conversation. This is the City Breakfast Show.
18 minutes past the hour of 8. This is 97.3 City FM. Welcome back to this segment. We'll be focusing a bit more on the stories like the ones you heard earlier on. Young people in small business trying to make it happen. Now, SMEs are very important in this country. Small and medium-sized enterprises accounted for 70% of our GDP last year. They account for 92% of enterprises within industry and are responsible for over 80% of employment.
Radio hits straight to the chase in early morning Accra. As the city wakes up to the bustle of daily life, we've come to Ghana to find out about the realities of small to medium-sized businesses and a new banking initiative to help them thrive. Bernardino Avle is one of the city's most popular breakfast show hosts, and he's a man on a mission. This morning, the studio phone lines are buzzing with his favorite topic, SMEs and entrepreneurship.
I'm a bootstrap entrepreneur. I raised the capital myself from savings and from family.
You're a bootstrap entrepreneur.
That's right.
I like the sound of that.
Bernardino wanted to give us a picture of the realities of doing business here. So he took us for a chat to his favorite hangout in Oxford Street, the commercial hotspot of the capital.
You know, the thing with Ghanaians is that we sell. You know, I think 2 or 3 of our ethnic groups are really good at selling stuff. And there's something interesting as well. Lots of the big manufacturing companies, they started as people who were in trading. So we are a trading people.
I wanted to meet an entrepreneur at the helm of a prospering company to hear more about the challenges and opportunities for SMEs in Ghana.
Fine.
Good to meet you.
Welcome.
Do you know that this building doesn't have a roof?
Oh, I know. And that's why I'm here.
This is Seth Mfoafo, a structural engineer and the owner of VAMZET, a steel fabrication company founded in 2000 with his wife Vivian.
Our products includes fabrication of tanks. We do mechanical installation. We do piping work. We do steel frame structures and trusses. My father was a farmer, and he had quite a number of tractors. And as a young boy, when the mechanics would come and want to repair the tractors, I'll always be with them.
Ghana was going through political turmoil when Seth finished high school, but he was a bright student and won a scholarship to study structural engineering overseas.
I got my first job from a friend also who introduced me to a businessman who had gotten a project with the roofs to be built, and he needed somebody. And the man told me that he doesn't know me, but he wants to put his trust in me, and that he's going to give me money up to 80% of the contract amount. He said, if you can deliver, then you'll be a good partner.
Seth and Vivian had a lucky break when they started VAMZET, but it's not the same for everyone who decides to go it alone. For most startups, seed money is non-existent, and cash flow and inexperience remain constant problems.
Lots of people below 25, lots of them coming out of school, not getting the training that is readily employable. Also getting increasingly urbanized, so people are leaving the villages, coming to the city, not enough resources. These are the same kinds of people who fall into the cash flow trap because they don't have enough capital. Friends and fools, as we call them, give them some money to start up. Maybe they start from a garage from their father's house, and he's doing business gradually. But now he wants to scale up, he wants to employ more people, and then you face this challenge of no money, no cash, and you have to deal with it.
we have to find our own money, buy materials, do fabrication, complete installation, and then on completion, you wait for 60 days, sometimes 30 if you're lucky, to get paid. So that really has become very difficult for survival of SMEs. And I've had to let jobs go because I can't finance it.
Lisa is a journalist from Cape Town. She's been working on a number of stories, some of which include SMEs. They are not able to sustain the business because when they supply, whoever receives the items doesn't pay.
It's about cash flow. You can go out and do some interviews with 1,000 small businesses, and even the ones that are big, they'll say there was a time where I went home and I sweated.
And then Standard Chartered Bank stepped in with a solution. It's a vendor prepay facility which fast-tracks payments from bigger clients to smaller suppliers like Seth. Both pay for the service, smaller SMEs benefiting from ready cash, and larger clients using the facility to consolidate their supply chains and their local procurement targets.
An SME can set up its factory. They can set up their machines. Now they need initial capital to do that. But once that happens, everything else is about cash flows. Now, the key thing for an SME and any company for that matter is they must have a cash conversion cycle that enables them to quickly convert their products into sales and also get those sales to generate cash, which they also now use to buy inputs, and that cycle goes on. Now, what tends to happen is that when these SMEs supply goods to some of the companies, there is a cycle through which these payments go through. Sometimes it could take up to 60 days, sometimes 90 days before they get cash. Now, that's where the problem is. So between the time they have finished producing and selling, and also getting this cash converted back into something they can now use to continue operating, that gap is what we seek to come in. And that's where a vendor prepay comes in.
We had a contract with Guinness, and I had managed to secure the materials and deliver it. But then I found it difficult waiting for the 60 days. So one time I was just speaking on phone to the procurement that can't they do anything about it? Then the procurement officer said, there is a program that I can sign on and that I can get paid very quickly. Oh, I said, wow. Then please tell me more about that. I'm interested.
Bumset is one of our suppliers who help us in the technical space. They supply stainless steel material. They also help us in fabricating metal equipment. The VPP, that's the vendor prepay scheme, is essentially a supplier financing scheme which allows suppliers to get payments of their invoices early by discounting their invoices through Standard Chartered. It gets them paid within a maximum period of, say, 72 hours versus being paid at a later date.
Basically, of course, there's some financing cost in that, in the sense that when we prepay ahead, it's what is traditionally called invoice discounting. So there's some amount of discounting on the figure. So that helps us then to finance our customer. We finance our large corporates, and indirectly through that, we finance the SMEs to fix their cash flow gaps.
I was amazed how swift he was able to work things out. Within 2 days, we had paid into our bank accounts the money that we were expecting from Guinness in 60 days.
In terms of the benefits, I think that we're already seeing those suppliers that have signed on to the VPP demonstrating a lot of confidence in the way they go about their business. The ripple effect of that is more job creation, increased GDP growth. So it's not just a benefit for our business, but also a benefit for the entire country.
On foreign-made products and buying made-in-Ghana products. These businesses can expand irrespective of...
With the hopeful tone of City FM accompanying them on the way home, Seth is reminded that success is not only about partnerships with financing institutions and big clients. It's also about his wife's support since the very beginning.
She gave me the peace of mind that I needed to be able to move forward, because it was very trying moments, very difficult. My work involved a lot of traveling, and she had to take care of the home, the kids, and at the same time manage the business in Accra.
Seth and Vivian know that they're doing it all for a reason. Their daughter Amma is in her first year of university studying for a BA in business administration. 14 years after her parents founded Vamsit, prospects are very different for the 18-year-old. It's important that she knows what it took for them to get to where they are today.
No, there's no. From our living room just at this place, yeah.
We had no money to go and rent off a zoo. You're talking of... You know, at that time I had no pickup and I had to use a small saloon car, and I had to put welding machine in the saloon car, drive from Accra to that location, very rough road.
It's new and somehow touching to know about what they went through before they're able to get to where they are now.
Ghana is clearly a country on the move, but it needs inclusive partnerships to build its GDP. As the big players change the cityscapes of today, it's the small entrepreneurs with big dreams who are key to building Africa's tomorrow.
The big dream I have is to be able to establish a well-equipped workshop and to have well-trained welders, fabricators, pipe fitters to be able to launch onto the oil and gas market.
And what are you, if I come and visit you in 20 years' time?
You will feel very happy to see a company with so many staff, and we will be able to deliver products for the West African market because that's our target. And even, if possible, manufacture for the foreign market.
These are Liberian school children today, but behind their smiling faces is the legacy of a shocking civil war. Now the country needs to rebuild its education system and the future of its children.
Everything collapsed as a result of the Civil War. What happened is a story that is yet to be told. The school infrastructures were damaged, so the kids themselves came to the point that there's no need to go to school. You can hold a gun and become somebody. You don't need to go to school. And that broke down the whole desire and quest for education. And so the whole system broke down.
Millions of kids who should have been at school were drawn into the war. I was determined to find the exact spot of an iconic photo that tells the story.
Do you think it's on this bridge or is it that other bridge?
It's not this one.
It's not this
one? It's the other one.
Okay.
At that time, it was the old bridge. It was not like this. It was old. But it got broken. It's sinking.
Yeah. I've had this picture for 8 years.
Yeah, well, I'll show you.
I said I'm going to go to that spot.
I'm going to show you this spot right now. This side.
Yeah.
This spot.
This is it.
See where it was.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. It's just
right here.
It's incredible.
Right here, yeah. This spot. Right
but he would have been facing this direction.
Focusing like this.
And this is a government.
Yeah, government troop. We're gonna have law rebel and have government troop. We were fighting for government troop. During the war, the bridge was very risky. Yeah, there's not a small soldier, a child soldier, small soldier.
How old do you think he is?
13, 14 years old. Just a little boy. Just a little boy.
He should have been in school.
Should have been in school. Well, at the war now. I don't know what get him involved in the war. See, they were part of him first thing.
How old are you?
Me?
How old are you?
14.
14.
Like age group.
Look at this.
It's the age group.
Same.
Yeah.
Are you in school?
Yes.
It's almost impossible to imagine thousands of young Liberians fighting on Monrovia's streets with the classroom a distant memory. some abducted and forced to become child soldiers. Kelvin Davies was one of them.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
It's my pleasure. This is my mom.
Hey, Mom.
Yes?
How are you?
Hello, my sweetheart.
This is your sweetheart.
Yeah.
My baby, my sweetheart.
Your baby, your
My
sweetheart. You were a young boy, you were going to school, your parents were with you, your family was with you, and then when you were 10 years old, your life changed. What happened?
Well, when I was 10 years old, I never knew anything about going on maybe or murder or whatsoever on my way from school. That's how I got kidnapped by a vehicle with our lesson plate of pickup. And I was picked up, put in the pickup, how they carry me. After we went, they put everybody down in a uniform. The first thing they never had a soldier uniform for us. So the same clothes you carry, that's the same clothes you live in, about this size. Yeah.
How big was the AK?
The AK was very big and heavy because it was my very first one. So when I first lifted it up, it was very heavy in my hand until I needed to be walking, a bit dragging.
So you were that much bigger than the AK?
Yeah. When I was a child soldier, education, I felt that education was not important to me because I had nothing to do with books. Yeah. Rather, the only thing I had to deal with was school, and that's all. This particular thing you are part of, you never meant to be part of it, but rather you are forced to be part of it. So since that's the case, you have to put yourself back together. Then later my mother said, no, you have to go back to school. I decided to go back to school.
We can state with conviction that our country has turned the corner. Liberia is no longer a place of conflict, war, and deprivation.
We're trying to ensure that kids understand that the way to stability is not through the violence or it's not through guns, it's through education. The more people are aware and the more people are educated, the more stable minds they develop because they now appreciate that in order to become somebody, you need to work for it.
Today, we'll be discussing on the topic, the digestive system. Can we pronounce that together?
Digestive system.
Together we say it?
Digestive system.
When we talk about the digestive system, we are talking about the food that we eat. Where does it go? Into the what? Digestive system. The food passes through a tube coming down here into the stomach. That tube is called the esophagus, right?
Yes.
It's called the esophagus, the tube coming down here, right? It's a very important system of the human body.
Because of the situation we found ourselves after the war, and people wanted children to be in school, so everybody was putting up something that was supposed to be a classroom. We want the schools to look like places that children want to go to, and just to make it a place of fun and learning. And this is one of the things I'm trying to push when we go to our school systems.
It's a government that believes in education, but it also recognizes the depths from which they've had to come to be able to restore education. It's a work in progress still, tremendous challenges, but I think they're on the right track.
So we've come here to film a story about 67 schools being built over the next few years.
Wow, that's great.
New schools.
New schools. Wow. Liberians appreciate a whole lot. You're great things for us. Yeah, we need schools. We need hospitals. And we need schools.
It's heartening when big players come together to solve problems. The partnership here is between global giant AECOM and the Liberian Education Ministry. Our series has visited some of the school sites before, but building hadn't yet begun. Now we're back to see how the project's first phase involving 44 schools is progressing.
So we've driven up the Kakata Highway north of Monrovia, and we've come here through the Firestone Plantation to see a school that is being built.
Morning.
Hello,
Lisa.
Barry.
Hi, Barry AECOM. How are you?
Great pleasure
Nice
to meet you. I was just
Good.
saying that it's amazing to see it actually being built. You know, we've done the research, we've spoken to people, but we're here. It's amazing. Is it going to be a big school, Barry?
If you knew the challenges, you would know how amazing it is. It's very special to see this kind of progress. This project is funded by the Global Project for Education. They fund it through the World Bank. The World Bank fund the Ministry of Education, who employ us. AECOM is just here to ensure that the World Bank get what they're paying for, that they get the school built how it needs to be built, they get the right quality, they get it on time, and that the people of Liberia get what the World Bank intended them to get. How this project works is that all the schools are built by local contractors. So we would basically, the MOE would appoint a contractor, we would meet with them, engage with them, and then it would be a team effort. So we would work with the contractors, all local guys. There's no imported contractors, no imported staff. So it's basically Liberia are building Liberian schools.
AECOM has come in to help monitor the construction that's going on and to ensure that it's being done properly. And they're doing a wonderful job at that. And what I like about it is that they have Liberians that they're helping to learn how to do that.
We don't only monitor, we assist, we train, we help, we guide, and that makes it a joy. Our mandate is actually to build ourselves out of a job, to increase the capacity of the local builders and to be able to teach them to manage their own job and not to require our services.
We now have a standardized design that now embodies everything that a school environment should contain. You can see we have the teacher's quarter there. You can see that we have the administrative building, the classroom buildings, and everything just well laid out. Every time I come to this site, overlooking this community and looking at the buildings up, I feel proud.
The trusses up there, where the apex is, and you have the one vertical. We need a gusset plate over that area.
Okay, we will do that for sure. They've been really cooperative. They've been helpful. They listen. They help you wherever they see you falling. They come in, push you. You know, so I'm really grateful.
It's a lifesaver for us in the education system, and we're actually working to ensure that what we're putting out there is much more sustainable than we had before.
If you travel around and you visit schools, they're brimming with young people. For young Liberians and Liberian children, I think the future is very bright. They just have to stay in school, and then they can really be president as well.
Anybody can achieve education. The matter is seriousness and determination. As long as you're serious and determined, nothing will be hard for you. When I was still a little boy, my dream was to become a president.
If you want to build something and you want to leave a legacy, then, you know, to build a shopping center does nothing. But to build a school, it's for a good reason. It's not a commercial value, it's a nation-building value. And there's a bit of a warm feeling about building a school.
Where's the new school?
Yeah!